All right, before I get started into this review, I actually have decided to go ahead and do Raw reviews pretty much every week. Well, every Monday, that is. And in place of my Q&As that I actually had done and finished a few months back, I actually have decided to do a power ranking series. Because pretty much the WWE, the way they do theirs, I don't agree. Especially when they have people that were not on the show to be on the ranking list. And usually the ones that weren't on the show are either higher on the list or pretty much at, at a neutral point. And they shouldn't be on there at all. So I've actually decided to make a power rankings list of my own. Pretty much based on 4 categories. I'm actually working on them. One's going to be promo work. It's going to be matches. It's going to be crowd reaction, of course, and wins and losses. Now, I've actually decided to probably, to make it fair, it would be best to start at WrestleMania, the Raw after WrestleMania, and moving on down to the next pay-per-view of the next month. So I'm going to actually do the entire month of April with all 4 Raws. And this is just going to be for Raw, not SmackDown, because SmackDown is a transition show. So I'm not going to really worry so much about that. But it's going to be based on whoever's on Raw, whether their promos are great, whether their matches are good, the overall reaction of the crowd, and also their wins and losses. It will count. And at the end of the month, that person will be the top dog of the month, leading on up to PayBack. And from PayBack, they're going to still get points, and that's going to roll on down to the following month. Hopefully it doesn't sound really confusing, but I am working out the kinks at the very moment. This is just for fun. I'm not trying to base it off anything scientific, but I've actually decided to do this as a series leading on up to next year's WrestleMania. And I am curious to hear your thoughts once I actually have it done. But at this moment, guys, this is about Raw, so here is my Raw review. Alright guys, this Raw starts off in the Jolly UK, and they're absolutely jolly. I love the UK fans. They have so much energy. They have so much creativity when it comes to the songs for everybody that comes out. I love the UK fans. They made this Raw fun for me. But I will admit, moving on down the line between the second hour to leading on to the third hour, it started to slow down. You can tell that they were either getting tired or bored. But honestly, guys, they're one of the best fans ever. Like, the most energetic fans I have ever seen on television. I would love to go to the UK just to see the fans. As well as to see my friend Freddie and also my friend NJ. I would love to see them both. And also Daniel. And many others that I have actually met on YouTube along the way. But anyway, it's not about them. This is about Raw. Now, honestly, guys, I will admit this. It's absolutely great to set up with something different, something new. Seeing the Ambrose Asylum actually starting off the show was pretty clever. The joke that he had really didn't go that far, but other than that, it was pretty amusing. Shane McMahon. That man has become the most beloved guy in the WWE. Seriously. Especially after what happened at WrestleMania 32. He has a lot of support behind him. And I'm happy that they're not trying to turn him heel. And they're not trying to turn him a face. He's just a businessman. And a lot of people are going to say, oh yeah, he's a babyface. I don't see it that way. I actually do see that he is trying to maintain a legacy. Even though he's going to be there temporarily, he's doing a good job. Because in my opinion, I've actually got this suggestion from Elena Nicole on Twitter. And I might make a video on it. About NXT invasion of PayBack. And actually how literally the landscape is changing. You're finally seeing new stars. This is something we've always wanted. And I'm honestly enjoying it. Especially the fact that my favorite tag team in NXT is the Vaudevillains. And you actually see them versus, oh my gosh. The fact that they're going to be at PayBack in a tag team Intercontinental Championship, well, in a tag team match. Well, in a tag team #1 contenders match to go against New Day against Enzo and Cass. That's all I have to say. They're doing an amazing setup for PayBack. Seriously, I am loving this. You're seeing new stars. It's awesome. Enzo Amore is a master on the mic. He has so much magic. It's ridiculous. Big Cass always compliments him. And it's just great. I love it. I love the feud going on with the Dudleys. but I actually expected them to be in a feud with the Dudleys at PayBack. But for some strange reason, we're not going to see that at PayBack. They're going to be in the number one contenders match. But it might be for the next pay-per-view, because I think the Dudleys was actually in the tag team tournament. So seeing how they're going to be facing the Vaudevillains at PayBack, you got NXT in a number one contenders match on a pay-per-view. Bravo. Bravo. Now, if they can only do the same exact thing with Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews' entrance to the WWE on Raw, having his debut, was just random. Like, there was really no reason for Apollo Crews to be coming up to Raw. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's amazing on NXT, but he barely had any decent storyline matches, let alone any feuds on NXT. And he randomly got pulled up to Raw on his debut that nobody cared about. Now, in my opinion, they're taking him down the same road as Ryback. And Ryback, that was a big mistake for him. He actually started off with amateur wrestlers, local wrestlers that is, then amateur wrestlers from other places. Then he started wrestling the mid-card. And yeah, he was booked as a juggernaut. And then look what happened to him. It just faded out and people got tired of it. Apollo Crews has a winning smile. He could be a great babyface. But the problem is that Apollo Crews doesn't have anything to fight for. All of his matches are way too easy. His opponents that he actually does wrestle with are way too easy for him. I want to see a challenge. I want to see Apollo Crews actually have some odds against him, because he would be a great guy. I would actually say he could be the Black Daniel Bryan. Seriously, I really think he could be the Black Daniel Bryan if he's written correctly. And honestly, they haven't really done much with him but putting him in these ridiculous squash matches. People are going to get sick of that quickly. So I'm hoping they will change that very soon. But other than that, guys, I absolutely enjoyed seeing the tag team tournament. And I'm happy that the Usos did not win. But I will tell you this. Some of the matches on the show really did make me happy. Especially seeing how the women's 8 women's tag was getting taken so seriously. I will admit that there was a lot of reaction with Natty, and there was also a lot of reaction with Charlotte. Charlotte is getting better as a heel. I am enjoying her. Don't get me wrong, her dad wasn't so great on the mic either, but she's improving, and I'm honestly noticing that she's becoming a better heel, and she's becoming a lot more expressive with the way that she acts, like on behind the scenes. And I think she's going to get better with time. So I'm really enjoying the fact that she's a heel. I think it's great. And the fact that she's going against Natalya, for those that have not seen the first performance on NXT with Natalya versus Charlotte, was amazing. Oh my gosh. That was one of the top 5 matches I have ever witnessed. And Charlotte and Natalya went to town. I mean, oh my gosh. It was one of the best matches I've ever seen. This is a rehash of that, but it's on a bigger scale. This is going to be on PayBack. This was on NXT before. Now this is going to be on PayBack. So it kind of makes me wonder, is it going to be a different result? Is it a possibility that we're going to see Charlotte lose the belt to Natalya? I'll be fine with that. I really would be. Because Charlotte has had it for a decent amount of time. She's had a WrestleMania moment. Natalya hasn't had the belt in a very long time. We need a babyface to hold it for a while. She's been good as a heel. And I know everybody's like, well, she hasn't had a heel run as long enough. In my opinion, she has. It would be really great to see Natalya take the belt. Because Natalya represents, in my opinion, what a true women's champion should be. At least one of the women's champions that are still there. And I think it would be great to see Natalya actually hold the belt. But I don't want to make any predictions here. I honestly do believe that it might be a different result. But like I said, I don't want to make any predictions. As for the match itself, everybody's had their spot. Everybody had their moment. It was really interesting to see Summer Rae out there. Paige had a huge pop. Sasha Banks had a bigger pop than Paige. Something I never really expected. But it was nice to see Paige in a decent match. Like, seriously, it was nice to see her on something other than Total Divas. I am not a big fan of the makeup, but she can still scrap. And I'm all for that. I liked the women's match. I enjoyed it. I really did. And it was nice to actually see Sasha Banks not on SmackDown. But like I said, I enjoyed that match. I honestly enjoyed it. I really did. But there was one match that I really couldn't get into. And like I said, I couldn't get into Apollo Crews. But besides all that, I could not get into the main event. I really tried. But it's because that Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens has had an epic feud before. They have. We've seen them perform before. And it's just something that's old and stale to me. And I kind of knew what the result was going to be with Jericho coming out and attacking him. But honestly, guys, that's not so much my highlight of the night. My highlight of the night is seeing two members of the Bullet Club, Anderson and Gallows, making their debut in London on Raw with AJ Styles. And everybody has made this prediction. Everybody under the sun has made this prediction. That somehow on Payback we might see the debut of the Bullet Club with AJ Styles being the leader and AJ Styles going heel. Now, Roman Reigns. Now, I'm not a big fan of Roman Reigns, but I will admit this. I am impressed with him. I really am. He is definitely trying to get into this heel role, and it seemed more convincing with him being a heel than he would ever be a babyface. He literally absorbed every ounce of hate that he got from the crowd and worked with it. I will admit he kind of started remembering, okay, I'm a babyface, I can't really do this, and he kind of switched off and went back to being in babyface mode. But I'm impressed. I really think he will be an amazing heel. If he follows that heat and owns that heat, he would be an amazing heel champion. That is what they should do. Roman Reigns is getting booed out the building every single night. And I understand why. And I actually did make a video on reasons why Roman Reigns is being hated. My personal thoughts on it. Of course, my personal thoughts on it. But I really do think that if they actually choose to make him heel, it will be a huge benefit for him. It really would be. Everybody thinks he's going to be a coward. Everybody thinks he's going to run away. No. Roman Reigns has been invested far too much to do that. But I'm not getting into it. I've already done a video about that before, a little while ago, and I'll put that up soon. So I'm not going to really go into that too much. But I will say this. He really did impress me tonight. He really, really did. And I really think that he's going to be a great heel champion if the green light is lit. But guys, like I said, here's my overall thoughts of this Raw. I'm honestly looking forward to Payback. This Raw did a great job in hyping me up for the pay-per-view, which is what this Raw is supposed to do. I will admit, at times you didn't really feel like it was an actual Raw because it started to slow down. And I will admit, Sami Zayn versus Chris Jericho was slow as molasses. I didn't enjoy that at all. And I will say that Sami Zayn tried, but he was just really, really slow. And I've seen Sami Zayn fight. He's really, really quick, but he was as slow as syrup tonight. I don't know what was going on. So I didn't really enjoy that match. But despite all that, this was a decent Raw. It did a good job in promoting Payback. And I honestly think that when the card starts to build up, that it's going to be an amazing card. Especially with all of the setbacks they had with Payback and what happened with Bray Wyatt and him being injured. I think that they're going to capitalize on it, and I think it's going to be a good pay-per-view, and I really do believe that they're doing a great job in building it up on this Raw. But guys, I want to hear your overall thoughts on this. Leave a comment in the comment section below or send a video response on how you feel about this Raw being in the UK. Do you believe that it was actually done well? Do you believe that everybody was represented well? What do you think about it? I am curious to hear what your thoughts are. But guys, I am absolutely looking forward to this Payback, and I think that this Raw did a good job promoting that. But that's it for me. I will see you guys later. It's Nash Girl 30 signing off. Peace out. Later.